everyone, welcome back to another episode of Boys Gone Wild. It's a lovely day. I'm joined here with Andrew Cohen, of course, and our thick fucking idiot of a producer, Charlie Milner. How are you doing, brother?
I'm good. Charlie's stupid. Charlie's stupid, isn't he? Big old thick fella.
Odd and simple.
Oddball, nothing going on in the brain.
Simpleton. He fucking shushed me earlier.
Yeah, he's done it again. He's done it again just then.
I was trying to help him do his job, and he went. But no, it wasn't even like aggressive. It was more like it was like you're jeering me. Yeah, it was like you'd scored against a rival team in football.
Football.
On my way here, I was cycling in.
Right.
I was late. A meeting overran, so I was just going at rapid pace. And then as I'm going through Mile End Park, hurtling, I'm like, I cannot bear the idea of being any more than 1 minute late to see the boys. And the reason why I was 20 minutes late as opposed to 17 minutes late.
When you said you'd be 10, might I add. Wasn't going to bring it up, but if you're going to bring up numbers, we're going to shut that in there. Yeah. The reason why, go on, let's
the reason why I was 20 minutes late and not 17
and not 10.
Yeah, well, no,
it was originally I'm going to be 10 minutes late.
I'm factoring in the 10 within my 20 and 17.
See how that doesn't really make sense, but go on.
What, do you want me to say 17 and 10? It's not 17
so
and 10.
You were 27 minutes late?
No, I was 20 minutes.
You were 20 minutes.
I factored the 10 in.
You factored the 10 in, right.
When I was cycling through Mile End Park, I got bloody mugged. A guy stole my hat. I mean, it was a gentle mugging, but he cycled up by me.
You are wearing a hat?
Yes, I got it back.
Okay.
He cycled up by me, grabbed my hat off, and started cycling off. And I was already late, and I was like, I've just got this hat from the Emirates football ground. And then I could see him going through the bushes. I could see him through the bushes. He had my white hat on.
He was on a bike.
Yeah, and so I sort of tried to meet him at the point where he was going to come out again. And he had a big smile on his face. And because I very nearly just went away and just said that, well, that's gone.
Yeah.
But because I was there, he was just laughing and gave it back.
He gave it back?
Yeah.
So it was a jovial mugging.
I guess so. It was a jovial mugging, but he'd gone so far away, I could have easily not chased after him. And then I guess he would have kept it.
That's fucking nuts.
It is odd.
There's mental people around.
Yeah. I mean, there was a bunch of lads there, so I imagine...
He was doing it for...
I imagine, which is funny, to be fair. As much as we're saying it's mental.
Go and steal that guy's hat.
If you say, go steal that guy's hat.
And he does.
That's good.
He does.
That's not bad. If he cycles off and just steals the guy's hat, that is fun. No, it's a Mile End Park.
In Victoria Park, Adam was going on a run the other day.
Oh no!
And then some men kind of like jumped in front of him and were trying to trip him up as he was running. And then like the lady that they were with was clearly finding it quite funny. So then the guys just started like kicking at him, and he was like having to run off, and then
And that's humiliating because you're running already.
It is, yeah.
Because it's like you're running away, but it's like, well, I was running anyway.
I'm already running. You haven't won this altercation. You've tried to trip me up because I'm running.
Run off.
I'm not running away from you. I'm continuing my run. You're not winning. Yeah, no, apparently they were just, some haphazard gentlemen roaming the park looking for trouble.
Wanton acts of, aggression, antisocial behaviour.
But in quite a frivolous manner. It's not like, genuinely mugging you or like trying to assault you. These are jovial, like they're like playground. They're playground muggings, tripping up and stealing a hat.
We've said it many times, it's broken Britain.
It's broken Britain. It's callous Britain. Just going around.
The social contract.
It doesn't exist anymore.
Doesn't exist anymore.
There's no togetherness between man. It's if that man's hat could be mine.
They're not at all thinking about my feelings. They have no idea about my relationship with this hat.
You just got that hat.
My dad got me this hat.
Did he? Peter Gould.
Peter Gould
got you that hat.
He's back in the country.
What?
Yeah. The eagle has landed.
The eagle has landed.
It does genuinely feel, because he's only in the country for like 2 months at a time, maybe 3 months.
I felt a change in the winds.
And it's not always the same times he comes. He only tries to come for the summer, I guess. So it's normally when it starts heating up.
Yeah.
But you can just feel, once he's landed, everything does change a bit.
Yeah.
Everyone's a bit more tense.
Look at what's been happening around the parks. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Peter Gould's back in town.
Well, speaking of Peter, I was talking to your sister the other day, and she told me my favourite Peter Gould story.
Hold up. What did you expect to find when you typed in Peter Gould controversy?
You never know. In fairness to Charlie, there could have been a lot of things.
But what happens whenever you type in Peter Gould is the man who produced and wrote Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad,
which is called Peter Gould. It's one of the issues.
Yeah.
My second favourite Peter Gould. So, Horatio's sister was telling me a story the other day about Peter Gould. We were exchanging Peter Gould stories, essentially.
Oh yeah, because he's got engaged. Congrats.
He has become engaged, which I wasn't privy to, which is ginormous news. But we could do that. But I'll recount the story briefly. Lucia was telling me that she was out for lunch at a posh restaurant with Peter and then Peter's dad and mum, so her grandparents, right?
Yeah.
At a posh lunch in the middle of London, whatever, in a nice place. So, they were fairly dressed up. Halfway through the lunch, this woman walks in, a fairly young woman with big blow-up hair, like blonde hair, sprayed hair, like she's something out of the 80s, wearing a full pink juicy tracksuit, juicy on the bum, juicy on the tits.
Yeah, like Diamante, juicy on the arse.
Exactly. She walks up to their table and in silence just puts out her hand. And in response, Peter Gould just puts in the keys to his Aston Martin and a wad of cash, and she walks off in silence.
He's humiliated, by the way, and he's very rarely embarrassed.
And your grandma's like,
for fuck's sake, Pete. He's my son and I love him, but he's a fucking idiot.
Imagine.
My sister was with her friend as well. They were both about 22.
Yeah.
She just went in. I need to actually ask
Didn't say a word.
That.
That is fucking excellent. It's
we don't know why. I don't know how Lucia didn't get more. Maybe it was just too tense at the time. I don't know, but
you don't want to dive into that story at the table.
I guess you don't really want to know.
I mean, we need to know who that lady was. It could have been it. I'm sure she was Eastern European.
But to have that, to be able to put, she looked Lebanese.
Really interesting. Well, she went on a ride. Clearly,
a car that Dad never uses, apart from he once lost for a year.
Yeah.
Because he parked it and it was only a couple. Was he drunk? I think he was drunk and he parked it like 4 streets from his house.
Yeah.
Couldn't find it for a year. And then a year later, he just walked a route that he never normally walks home.
Saw it.
It was right by his house.
I think I was around.
That car is no longer with us because that's the car that he flipped and crashed. And if I was in the passenger seat, I would have died.
Were you meant to be in the passenger seat?
I was meant to be in the passenger seat, and I decided last minute to stay with my mum. And we'll get pictures. Actually, it's a good. So message me to get pictures.
There they are.
The car. It was very wet, and he was speeding on the motorway up to London. Yeah, and then it just I guess he just moved it too quickly, and it flipped. Went upside. It was very James Bond, to be fair. I mean, it's literally the Aston Martin.
Yeah, it was an accident though. James Bond doesn't just get in mundane cars crashes on the M25.
Do Casino Royale Aston Martin flip, the longest car flip in the world.
James Bond is being chased by like a supervillain. Your dad is just on his way on the M25 to London.
No, but it's a similar car.
And it's hit a bit of ice.
Let's do this. Here we go. This is my dad on the way to London. Do you think
he did it so he could be James Bond?
Yeah, I mean, it's the most James Bond thing about. Here he is. This is him.
But again, he's not being chased or chasing someone.
No, he's just going home.
Yeah. And I think, look, there's not.
Oh, right. It's still an accident.
He's not trying to save.
This is what happened.
Again, he's not trying to save a woman's life.
But
and then she ends up lying in the road, so he has to evade.
It didn't flip like that.
He probably had too many pina coladas at lunch.
Yeah. Well, it didn't flip like that. It flipped on its upside down, on its roof.
Yeah.
And then went upside down until it hit a lamp post. But yeah, I'll post photos of that.
Yeah, my dad also got in a car crash.
Oh yeah?
But that's because he just had back surgery and he was on too much pain medication and fell asleep at the wheel.
Really? Was it a long drive?
Went straight into it. No, he was picking up my sister from a musical theatre rehearsal. And then it took him a long time to come back, and I was at home going, I wonder what's going on there. And at a T-junction, he'd fallen asleep and then gone across it, and then a car had hit him. Fortunately, he was just ahead, so it hit him where the back seat was.
Hard?
Fairly hard, yeah. Then he went into the ditch. But he was absolutely fine without a scratch because he was fully out unconscious.
So his body was loose?
His body was loose.
Yeah.
You've got to relax in these situations.
Yeah,
we can all learn something from Bill Kerwin.
It's true. It's like when my dad fell down that ladder, that opening on a boat, and he said
that was recently, wasn't it?
That was very recently, and but then he always brags about those. If he survives, he's like, well, it's because I think was it because of all the yoga he does, or because and because he used to.
But all the yoga he did didn't stop him falling off a fucking ladder.
It's also because he used to be a goalie, so he has really good reflexes as well.
Again, not good enough to sort of stop him falling off the ladder. But I'll give you a Pete. You didn't die from falling off the ladder.
Yeah, it's so funny how quickly he goes to bragging, even when you slipped and fell down a fucking manhole.
It's the Trump move.
Yes.
It's the Trump move.
See? Anyone else doing that would have been dead, not me.
Yeah.
It's like, lad, you fell
off a ladder, Pete.
And you know what it was? It was because it was a bit dark and he went to the coffee machine and there's just an open thing and he just stepped and went...
And he had a couple of beers, I'm sure.
Yeah. He said most people would have been tense, but because he's loose with it.
Right. Because he's enlightened.
Yeah, most people would have frozen up and then...
Whereas as soon as he fell, he was used to that state. Going into my general points about charity and the distribution of funding for charities that I've made for the new listeners.
Outspoken, some people say.
Yes, controversial, definitely. Not very kind to the elderly at times.
Charlie's clasped his two hands together as if what you're
saying...
You
think of the moral arbiter of the podcast, but you just have no idea what's going on. You don't have the critical thinking capacity, so you sit there and judge us. So, we were... No, go on.
He wasn't saying anything. He was taking it all in.
Oh, it was, yeah. Namaste, brother. So for those who might be new, I do think it might be an idea to potentially distribute funding a bit more widely and effectively across different charities. Yep. Maybe we solve the water crisis in Africa before we thinking about, helping people with cleft palates.
It's a to-do list.
I know that's a significant thing.
We need to treat issues as a to-do list.
A hierarchy of charities, essentially.
That, and then you can cross them off.
Look,
and then you have a massive board, maybe in Times Square. Maybe you want to make it more like...
You want to enjoy yourself in Times Square. You don't want to be thinking about...
Yeah, I guess maybe you want it to make it more international. Maybe The Hague, maybe...
The Hague, yeah.
Somewhere like that. Anyway, something UN funded, whatever. You've got a giant projected LED board with a to-do list.
Yeah,
and every time we finish, there's this big ceremony where it like crosses through.
Yeah, okay. And then
so it's like
there's a ringing
world
of
thirst.
Yeah, world hunger gone. You know, now we can get to the donkeys.
Because it'll be a long time till we get.
It will be a long time. It was born from a donkey charity advert, essentially.
Yeah.
And look, I'm sure terrible things are happening to donkeys. However, people are dying of thirst. Maybe we do that first. Mm-hmm. It's just, it's trying to pool all the money into actually solving one problem and then moving on to the next.
100%.
It might not even be, it's mostly a joke, but it might not even be a crazy idea. So given this, I saw a news article that said that they finally found the reason as to why most male cats are ginger. And there was a big crowdfunding campaign that happened for that. And they raised hundreds of thousands of pounds.
Right.
Now
that's a different kettle of fish, but it's the same principle.
It's the same principle.
Yeah.
Whoever gave money to that cat, let's find out why most male cats are ginger, you're a fucking idiot.
Lobotomized,
get him off the planet.
To science.
How dare you give money to that when you could give money to people dying in Africa? No, we do not need... That is unnecessary.
It is unnecessary, but I guess the only counter I would, to play the devil's lawyer...
Thank you.
I would play the devil's friend, really, who's just looking out for him.
Yeah.
I'm just,
Yeah,
I want him to get a good read because I've got his best interests.
Right.
I would say that's a slippery slope because you saying that you spending your money on that, should you not spend your money on anything silly? Is it immoral to spend money on silly shit?
I think it's when it's
like if you're getting some fucking holiday tat, that could go to fucking...
Because it comes within...
Africa.
It comes within the same bracket as a charity. Donate. Right. If you saw a crowdfund come up, we want to find out why most male cats are ginger.
Yeah.
What fucking maniacs are clicking, I'll donate £10 to that.
Cat lovers, people who've interested in the question.
I love cats. I don't need to know that. I don't need to know why they are. I mean, honestly, I have... often pondered this,
right?
Because I get confused. I've heard myths that all male cats are ginger, but that's not true. It's just most of them are. Sure, it's an interesting genetic kind of variability. It is, but look, The fact that it was crowdfunded, if it comes from like university funding, I can understand that a bit more.
Right.
If it's coming from a science department, but you're asking Jill and Joe down the road, can you donate £10 so we can find out why most male cats are ginger?
Yeah.
I don't think that's an adequate use of distribution of funding.
I think you're allowed to ask for anything in this world.
That's true.
But I think you're right. The people who pay
get them off the planet.
Yeah.
You see, it's just, there needs to be a hierarchy of needs again.
Yeah.
And like,
so I get I'm just trying to work out what makes this.
You're a child dying.
What makes this more unethical than just than
buying a novelty T-shirt?
Yeah, yes.
Because it's the act. It's because it's the
Are
act
you saying
of feeling
that's money that would be going to charity anyway?
No, yes, for the cats, not the T-shirt.
Yeah,
and it's the feeling of I'm giving to make the world a better place.
Is that the feeling, or is it?
I just think anything that's like.
Yeah.
Anything that's for a cause that's crowdfund.
Is it a cause?
No. Honestly, there was this whole thing behind it. Can you look it up? About are you on the thing?
Yeah. So I
decades on mystery. So why?
Because obviously I don't actually give a fuck at all, to be honest. So yeah, I would never invest in it. But I guess people, if you're part of the community. What's the ginger cat?
The ginger cat male truthers. I don't think that's. Why do they? What was the answer then? What does it say?
What's the answer?
They discovered the ginger cats are missing a section of their genetic code. All right, I think I could have told you that.
Yeah. Also, do you think
I could have stabbed in the dark.
Feeling that maybe they already knew, and they're actually brutally taking advantage of Facebook mums.
It's true.
It very much feels like that sort.
Yeah, we must find out. It's like one Facebook group has just got out of hand.
It feels it's pitched at sort of what Facebook's become.
Yeah,
I can see that really sweeping up with the live, laugh, love mums. Do you know what I mean?
What a mystery.
Yeah.
Then they've got nothing else to do, so they just go on this campaign to solve the biggest mystery in the world, which is why most male cats are ginger.
Right, scroll up to the headline. Britain's fattest cat finally finds a new owner after being brought back to shelter 4 times. I mean, that's a cute looking cat.
Well, that's fucking obscene.
It looks like a Studio Ghibli character. It looks like he's from Spirited Away. No, but he's a wise cat, because sometimes you think, fat cat's going to be funny. And then it's just like all bubbly and weird. But he's quite nice and rotund.
He's very round. He looks like he's eating a football. Because that doesn't look like fat, that looks like... It looks like he's eating a football, genuinely. Looks like a round little hill with a head sticking out.
It's quite cute.
Yeah, fat cats are cute, aren't they?
Some of them aren't. Like, let's get some more fat cats. Yeah.
Bridget. Oh, she looks
like she wants to die.
Horribly sad. I'm so fat. Oh God, I'm so fat. I don't want to be this fat. I know, poor lady.
So now, Britain's fattest cat is now on a very strict diet after she reached up to 8 kilograms.
That's good to know.
Yeah, I guess is
that a news story? Do you know what I saw on the homepage the other day? Little Mix star, whatever her name is, something gives birth to twins on the BBC homepage.
Really?
BBC front page news. That was fucking. I couldn't believe it.
Broken Britain.
Broken Britain. Get a ticker on it. One of them's breaching. She's going into fucking. She needs a cesarean. I don't need to know any of this.
Yeah.
Front page news of the BBC.
Yeah.
Lady gives birth to twins. Couldn't believe it.
Let's do big chords. So I don't know about this.
Charlie, you explain this. This is your find.
So James Corden has
James
Cumdog has mentioned at the BAFTAs that he wants to maybe replace Sadiq Khan as mayor of London.
Now, I'm pretty sure this has been grossly taken out of context.
Sure, this is a joke, right?
Type in James
Corden. It's not a funny one.
Type in You despise him, don't you?
Yeah, I don't want him to be our mayor.
Yeah.
Do you want him to be our mayor?
No, I just don't think he will.
But almost like saying you don't like James Corden is like saying you don't like the word moist. It's like,
yeah,
we get it.
We get it.
From Gavin Estates to City Hall.
At the BAFTAs, Corden was introduced to the host of the Electoral Dysfunction podcast and reportedly revealed his interest in politics to Sky News political editor Beth Rigby, former Labour deputy leader Harriet Harman, and another one. There you go. An onlooker told the Mail on Sunday, James told them he was a regular listener to their podcast and how much he enjoys the cut and thrust of politics. He clearly has a lot of respect for the people who put themselves out there and run for office, and it was suggested that he should step into the political arena and stand in the future. There was talk that he should run for the Mayor of London.
Right.
It's clearly a bit of light banter from the red carpet that's been taken out.
But does he have an interest in politics? Would be interesting. Yeah. So what kind of policies is Mayor Corden going to put in the country?
Very good. That sounds like a podcast topic to me. You can't drive in a car unless you're doing carpool karaoke.
That's good. Yeah. More ham to my room now.
He's fat.
That's what I think.
More ham to my room. That's a tough bill to pass, isn't it? More ham to my room now. It also seems unnecessary to pass it as a law, where he could probably just ask one of his already existing assistants to bring some ham.
More cream.
James, there's a homeless crisis going on. More bread to my room, please. James, you can't. James, I think you're getting confused between asking your assistant to bring you something to your room and then law of this country. More milkshakes. More milkshakes for me, please. James, again, this isn't what laws are for. You don't need to pass a law to get a milkshake to your room. More cheese for me. I get more cheese. I don't even know how we put that one into the law, James.
I have the biggest slice of the cheese in the city.
What? There's not a big cheese, James. There isn't. You can just go and buy that if you want. There's nothing stopping you.
More now. Here. He thinks it's room service.
I want chocolate. Yeah, James Corden thinks that being mayor is actually just getting an all-you-can-eat room service thing. More cream to room, please.
But he's doing it, but he's signing it off as like an old law. Yeah. And the king has to check all of it. More cream to my room now. I guess that my bracket's James Corden room now.
It might be the first time that the monarch actually stops a law that's been for centuries.
Less cream to his room.
Less cream for Corden. The man's fat enough. He's not even that fat, is he? More cream.
He's not that fat, but it's surprising he's lived in LA that long and he hasn't lost more weight. Is it not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, is he not going to hit the Zempic or everything?
But it's surprising that at no point has he ever looked trim.
Yeah.
Like normally.
Yeah, it's a normal thing to go through. It's hard to be.
It's hard to maintain that weight.
It's hard to not be that insecure when you're doing a talk show to not want to lose a bit of mass.
Yeah.
Just
and
a splash of it.
And how ambitious he is. Like how much is he chowing back?
He does he just love the game?
Oh yeah, he's shouting at waiters, you know. So he clearly you don't want to get between him and his grub.
And that's why he's going to be the next mayor of London. More pizza, please. Yeah, look, it wouldn't be good, would it? It wouldn't be a good thing. But this is another example of the news and media just being pointless and stupid and ridiculous.
How would your ground news app cover this, do you think? I wonder if it would.
It wouldn't.
It wouldn't.
It wouldn't cover it because it would be. It probably would, and it would. I don't know. It would show where the sources were coming from, and it would be silly entertainment news.
Right.
You can hear what conversation that was.
Yeah.
He said, I'm interested in politics. Oh, yeah. More cheese. Yeah, he said, I like your podcast. No, I am interested in politics. I respect the cut and thrust of it and the putting yourself in that position. Well, you should run for mayor. Maybe I should. Right, James Corden running for mayor.
And then Charlie reads that and goes, what?
This is fucking ridiculous. He can't be our fucking mayor. There are real problems. He's not going to be our mayor.
I must tell the guy.
I got a comment across 2 podcasts that made me laugh.
Yeah.
So I didn't know about. Finn was telling me about it. I was like, wait, I thought that comment was on Boys Gone Wild. And he goes, well, it was one of Finn versus History. It was along the lines of, I'm really beginning to hate Horatio. And then he went into stats about Blair's migration stats. So like from 1996, we used to have 80,000 people coming in. Now it's over 1 million or whatever like this.
Sure.
So saying that, being anti-immigration is a lurch to the right is just disgusting. I have a good mind to come to your tour and tell it to your face, you worm. Right?
Right.
And then he said, effete piece of shit at the end.
Effete.
Effort.
What, effete? I think.
Is it?
I think it's effort.
Oh, I see. I thought you just...
Effete.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Correcting me.
Effort. It's effort, Horatio. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but it's effort.
But then, he did a very similar one on the Finn versus History one. So I think he listens to both podcasts and absolutely hates me, which is kind of interesting.
Fair enough.
That is
you're only 50% of each. So,
but it's a weird.
Or just smiling whenever I'm talking, and just scowling whenever you.
It's a tough position to be in if you.
Yeah.
If the two podcasts you listen to, I'm on, and you can't stand me. Oh, he did say I'm beginning to hate Horatio, so maybe it's.
Well, have you been piping up about migration then?
I don't know.
Well, we did a bit in British culture, didn't we, last week? We did some immigration
there's
stuff.
slight implication that you can be right.
You got to watch out.
Immigration. Yeah,
you got to watch out for yourself.
I do hope he comes. If you're listening, I do hope you come to my tour and call me a worm. Because I respect it a lot. If the commenters actually, if you, I'll get you a free ticket. Just to see if you'd actually go up and say you're a worm.
And you imagine he gets up on... You could invite him out on stage.
I wouldn't want him to interrupt the show. It'd have to be afterwards.
Yeah.
But I would genuinely have a lot of respect if he said, I think what you said about immigration.
Or he just says, you worm, and then walks away. That's probably the better... That's what he's saying.
But it's got to be with some hate in it. Because then it's just don't be a pussy in the comments. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're saying, I want to come to your show and call you a worm, and then you actually do it, that is kind of...
But then it's not
like
quite worth...
The holidays made it out of the group chat.
It's true. But it's not quite worth going to a show, spending the money.
I'll pay for the ticket.
Okay. But is it worth?
I'll comp you in.
Worth having a shower, choosing what outfit you're going to wear, getting on the train, queuing to get in, go in, watch the whole show, wait for you after the show just to go, you worm, and then do it all again?
Yeah, okay. I guess we can work it out that you can come after the show.
Yeah.
Message me and we'll work it out.
Well, you can come on the podcast if you want.
We'll come to the studio.
Can you come to the studio at the very start? He'll sit where I'm sitting. We'll open it with him calling you a worm, and then he'll leave and I'll sit in.
I don't know if I want him to know where the studio is.
I'm all right with it. He's got no problem with me.
Yeah, well, we don't know.
You never know.
We don't know. He might be hating both. He might be just here for Charlie.
You're going to Barcelona.
Yeah.
Next week.
Barcelona.
Controversial times in Barcelona. People are, they don't want us over there. They don't want anyone over there.
Well, I was thinking I wanted to go on a trip at the end of this
Why have you chosen Barcelona?
Well, I want to go on a trip at the end of this month, somewhere easy.
Yeah.
And I've never been to Barcelona.
Neither have I.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird omission.
Exactly. So I just thought, might as well. I did that with Amsterdam this year as well, where I was like...
Never been.
It feels like everyone's been. And anyway, BB was concerned because there's so many TikToks showing people getting... water chucked on them, but a lot of them were in like the Canary Islands. That's where it's really the big ones were, or like on the small Spanish islands. But now it's started to hit Barcelona. But I don't think it's going to be. I bet I'll be there and there'll be nothing. Is my feeling.
Yeah, but it's also there's a news article that is all starting to kick off again a bit because now people are starting to come over again. Yeah,
I mean it's going to be on a weekend in May.
Yeah, and I mean you're not. You've got zero chance of blending into the Spanish people.
Yeah, but I think they don't mean. I think they don't mean me.
I think they mean exactly
No, I think they mean...
Pasty little white boy, come over enjoying their tapas.
They'll be like that one. He's all right.
He's all right. He's just here for the fucking food, isn't he?
I think I think they're big fans. They'll be big fans of me.
Do you reckon?
I think it's just the other tourists they don't like.
It is
fucking hell.
Yeah, look, that's literally you. That's literally you and me right there.
Right now we're watching people sat out having their meals and water being squirted at them. Well, I guess it's sort of like silly terrorism.
It's very mean.
Yeah.
I've always been quite startled by what's going on. Look, so the argument is, because I was in Menorca when I was doing my kayak expedition. Right. I was talking to the kayak expedition leader, Lucas, and he was saying how, the main reason is there's just housing is absolutely mental in Barcelona. Right. Everyone's being pushed out. The rent's obscene because everyone's got a second house. Massively jumps up the rent price, etc., etc. So people are being pushed out, and they obviously don't want to be pushed out. And I can imagine it's tough to be pushed out just by tourism.
Yeah,
do you know? Because we've got
fanny packs.
We've got at least we've got Russian oligarchs.
Right.
Whereas there's just like us cunts coming over and
thick
like having too many beers.
Yeah.
So I understand that is a frustrating thing. It's just like. It's man against man again, isn't it? It's hate thy neighbour.
Right.
It's not like we're in a revolution.
You're going like throw a petrol bomb through a Thomas Cook. I mean, they're already
interesting.
closed.
Thomas Cook.
Well, like
is
a
that kind of like
agent.
the bastion of capitalism?
I don't know.
Thomas Cook, the airline.
But you can't do it too general. There's no point just attacking BlackRock. It's not like that's going to stop.
No, but it
has to be travel, right?
It's just this kind of revolution that is just it's man against man. It's just like it's mum and dad trying to get away from the city by going to Barcelona. It's mum and dad going on their summer holes.
As a mass problem, you can understand it, but the individuals, it's hard to focus on because you don't know who your water spraying might have a complicated. It might be all they ever wanted is to see Barcelona once more before they die of leukemia.
Yeah, of leukemia.
And then they're being squirted in the face. And that's their last memory.
Dude, it's an interesting thing because it's like a, very, very rarely do you see a protest that is like public against public.
But why I say silly terrorism is because it does work like terrorism.
Hey, it's pretty hot there.
Yeah.
Not bad to cool down in the afternoon.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a bit goofier because it's like water guns, but it's still the same.
It's aggressive.
No, but it's the same fundamental premise as terrorism, right?
Okay.
You make statement attacks for a cause.
Against a particular identity group.
Yeah, that tries to affect change through fear. So they are terrorists.
Yeah, okay.
In a way.
Yeah.
Because even like these images, people didn't want to go to Barcelona, and I said, we're going. But because of this, she was like, oh, maybe I don't want to go. And if you're deciding between a couple of different cities, and then you see you're getting a water bomb chucked at you.
It is effective.
I
imagine it would be effective.
I'll go to Milan or something,
Yeah, it is effective. Go on, Charlie.
Would you say they're more kind of botherers than... It's not really terror, is it? It's like
I guess it's like botherism. You're a botherist?
I think they're a botherist. I wouldn't,
It's
Mass bother. No one get bother in Barcelona. Yeah, it's obviously not. It's not terrorism, but it's along the same lines. It's everything's a spectrum nowadays, so it's at the bottom of that spectrum.
It's annoying and nasty.
I had more sympathy for it in the islands.
Yeah, because Mallorca,
the whole community is completely
Mallorca is
shelled
fucked,
up.
apparently.
But then Barcelona has a fuckload of tourists, apparently, obviously. But so does kind of every major European city.
Yeah.
London has a load of tourists. So it's like, I feel with Barcelona, it feels less pertinent.
Yeah, it is. It's just
because I imagine there's still areas in Barcelona for locals and stuff like that. But I think the island... That's a much more fragile
ecosystem and economy. No, that's apparently Mallorca is absolutely fucked.
And to be honest,
it's just an interesting.
It can actually work. Is my thing.
No, I agree.
I don't think it's pointless.
It's more about.
I think it can actually affect change
because it isn't about punishing the individuals that come there. It's about preventing more people from coming. Because you see those videos, you're like, well, I don't want to get accosted and sprayed in the face when I'm trying to enjoy my tapas.
Well, how would you stop tourists coming to London if it got too much?
Poo on them.
Right. You're very quick with that. Now, are you shitting in a bucket and chucking at them, or are you just...
No, on their lap.
Right.
How are you stopping them?
I guess if the videos start going viral, I'll be like, I really don't
You're not going there.
That's horrible.
It's a horrible thing to do.
I would start stink bombing the fucking planes on the way. I think that's a lot of the problem as well.
Whoopee cushions on all the restaurant seats. Make them embarrassed. Make them embarrassed to come here.
Yeah, that's good.
You went to a spa.
Yeah, well, so on tour, I'm only staying in like 3 or 4 hotels, so I've made sure to stay in ones with like spas. Might as well. And yeah, in the 2 hotels I stayed in with a spa, both of them, which I don't know what the right workaround is. I don't know whether I'm being too prissy about it, but I really don't think that the elevator to the spa should be connected to the main elevator.
So go on. What happens?
Because you go in your robes and your trunks.
Yeah. Is there not a changing room in the spa?
Sort of.
Right.
But that's not what's the done thing. That's not the culture.
You want to saunter out of your room in your robe and head
I still find it truly humiliating.
Yeah.
Especially on my own.
What are you wearing on your feet?
The bath slippers, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like people, I was in an elevator on my own, right?
Yeah.
Towel.
Yeah.
Swimming trunks. Slippers. And then, family of 4 came in.
Yeah.
And I'm just lurking in the corner.
It's a bit sex offendery.
It's a bit sex offendery, and it's also like I'm going down to relax. There's just something weirdly kind of like indulgent about who's this indulgent, creepy man who's going down maybe to get a massage. You don't even know. You walk in and they just come off like a flight or something, and I'm just there like.
It's definitely a reason.
And then I go back up, fucking sopping wet.
What are you doing down there?
Yeah.
It's definitely a reason.
That's the worst one, is when you have to go back up and you're like...
I can see you not wanting to go because of that issue. Once again...
Other people don't have issues with it, because there's a lot of people doing it.
I quite like it in a hotel, see people walking around in their bathrobes. I feel like it's kind of part of the hotel experience. So like, we're here to kick back. There's a kind of frivolity of it.
But these are city hotels.
Yeah.
Right? So these are kind of like central. There's a lot of businessmen
Yeah. Who are they're there for just a bed, basically. Bed and breakfast.
Sort of, yeah. I mean, maybe people doing a city break might be there, but it's not like
it's not a destination.
A relaxed resort place. This is like in town.
It's like walking around in your pants in a travel lodge.
I actually don't like seeing people in their bathrobes.
Yeah, I guess it depends.
Especially we've seen someone lost in the lobby in a bathrobe is really embarrassing.
Lost, obviously, it's embarrassing.
Because I think there's also
if you're lost,
with
you're
these
fucked.
sort of hotels, part of the pleasure of them is that it's like a business thing, and then you're just sort of like, well, I'm just here for work, you know, and there's just something about like, you know, this is just my lifestyle. This is me just living.
Yeah.
Right. I got a job to do.
Yeah.
I'm in town.
It's a practical
You feel like
thing.
a glamorous hitman who's in town. Maybe a hitman wouldn't stay at like a spa hotel, but
What, in his robe?
but no, exactly. But the robe undermines that because you've got people like that who are walking around on their AirPods doing fucking business
So you
calls,
feel like,
and then you're like, ooh.
So you feel like you slide down the hierarchy of the hotel guests every time they see you in a robe.
Yeah, and
because
no one
you're
else.
no longer there for practical reasons. You're there to relax.
Yeah, frivolous.
Well, then it's embarrassing because
embarrassing.
I think it's about the quality of the hotel you're at.
Right.
Because it looks like you're having a little break away from your life to come to the Middlesbrough Hotel Spa.
Yeah.
And that's like the spa probably isn't high enough quality to be there to use the spa.
Right. So it's more like, why is this your spa?
Why are you having a spa break here? I'm here because the Middlesbrough Industrial Park is around the corner and I've got a deal to do.
I did, I was at a spa in Birmingham. It's my Birmingham hotel.
It's a juxtaposition.
It was funny being like, who else is here? I was more like, I'm here for a very kind of niche specific reason. And I was in there there was a musician who was there who was clearly performing. Both of us, it makes sense that we're in a spa.
Yeah.
But there was like families. What are you doing
What
here?
are you doing?
Why are you?
And you're too young. I think you're too young to be using a spa in Birmingham.
Yeah.
That's like...
But it's more like...
That shit you do when you're 40.
What family holiday is going to Birmingham and using a spa?
Well, none.
But they were in the spa.
Families?
Yeah.
What, with kids?
Yeah.
The kids, how old were the kids?
Like 8 and 6.
No 8 or 6 year olds enjoying a spa.
In Birmingham, what's going on? It's kind of mad.
What were the kids
It
doing?
was like it was one of those like fucking chain, you know.
Yeah.
I guess so. I imagine there's not many spas in Birmingham. I mean, it was a very functional, it was a decent spa because it did the job, very functional.
What was in it?
It had steam room, sauna, swimming pool, jacuzzi, but it looked like a leisure centre. So it wasn't like they hadn't fucked around with it.
Yeah, you're not trying to make it
given
nice.
it like it was quite functional.
This is a room of steam.
Yeah.
Sit in it for a while if you desire.
Yeah, it was like a doctor's.
It's like the one at my gym.
Yeah, it's doctor's orders. Sort
Yeah. Yeah. This room is hot if you desire to sit in it. That's
Fucking hot room.
That's essentially what we're doing here. There's a body of water there if you wish to swim.
Lots of like warning signs on the.
Yeah. Don't trip.
Warning,
Don't
hot.
fall. Be careful of the ledges. Fucking hell. This room is hot. Don't get in it if it's too hot for you. Fuck me.
Yeah, there wasn't like. Bong.
No. But then again, that's when the spa goes too far for me.
Too far.
That's why I never thought I'd be much of a spa boy, but now given this kind of sauna renaissance that I've gone through,
But
I
do you think this
understand
is you transitioning?
Yeah, maybe.
Because you can't accept pretentious things immediately, and you slowly have to fade into them.
No, but I accept I
wouldn't like a nice
still
spa?
struggle with the Mile End climbing wall one, but the one at the gym when it's full of sweaty old men, then I'm like, this is how it should be. It should be a fairly unclean room when I can go in. I go.
So you want it dirtier?
I want it a bit mucky. I want it a bit mucky, and I want the clientele to not be pretentious.
Right. Okay. I can.
I want to sit there with some geezers.
I can understand the clientele because they definitely potential clientele can take away from the sauna experience, but
you can't separate that from the location.
If I'm talking about what ideal spa I want, it's
you want gongs.
If I could choose, the more pretentious the better. The more homelier. I want someone who's gone in to curate the ultimate spa.
Yeah.
Relaxing experience. I want to go on a journey. I want there to be storytelling through all the different rooms.
Whereas I just want to get hot. I want to get hot and then really cold and then hot and then really cold and then hot and really cold and then leave.
In the Mile End sauna, I was actually speaking to a woman from New Zealand who was talking to me about what an actual hammam Moroccan experience is. Because I thought hammam was just a Arabic word
the same
for
lady.
steam room, right?
Yeah.
And she said that it wasn't just that. If you get a proper one, it's like an hour's thing where you have like 5 women or men, if you're men, who all wash your different limbs.
Yeah, and then they
so
like hit
deeply.
you with those leaves.
I think that might be slightly different.
Is that
Maybe.
a different thing?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind one of those.
You know, I do not want people washing
But
me.
what it is, well, she says it's like, I mean, I think it would be uncomfortable at first, but she says it's like literally the cleanest. Your skin will feel unbelievable afterwards. And it's like, it's kind of like, you know those satisfying videos of rugs getting cleaned?
Yeah.
That's what it's doing for you.
Yeah.
It's like it's getting rid of everything.
Going up with a Hoover.
You know those videos, Charlie?
No, I don't think I've seen them. What is that?
You've not seen them?
Just when they really clean a rug.
fucking dirty rug.
Really clean
In the
it.
adverts?
No. It's like it's normally underneath another video.
It's like professional rug cleaners, and they do. You know, everyone wants to be a social media star nowadays, so they'll put like different. It's like it is an
Yeah. It's like, okay.
I mean, how is that rug? That is a.
There's no way that rug's getting cleaned, and that's the satisfying thing. It's like
because you look.
Okay.
Skip it.
Because that's even nice now, isn't it? Seeing all that muck come off. That's a nice colour of muck.
This is what a hammer is for your filthy fucking.
Wow. No, I haven't seen these.
You might be into it now.
Oh, it's unrecognisable, isn't it? Unrecognisable. Absolutely balmy. But, you know, who's bringing a rug like that there? One, if you value that rug enough to pay for the professional cleaning service, why have you let it get so full of shit? And two, who sees that rug and goes, yeah, let's get that. Bin it.
Yeah.
If it's
but
a valuable rug, you're not letting it get like, what have you done with that rug? Is it your poo rug? You're inviting guests to go and poo on the rug and then smush it in. If it's worth a professional clean, why is it that bad?
I guess it could be a kind of guy who's like, let's get this rug we can get this rug as dirty as we like.
But that's what I think's happening.
We know we can just get it completely clean, no matter how much fucking shit we fling at this.
Let's poo on it.
Doesn't matter because these guys can sort it out.
These guys can sort it out.
How much is it to do one of these? Yeah, that's worth it. That's worth it.
That's
have
worth
a fucking
destroying.
Fucking dirty. It's not destroying.
It's not destroying. But that's
the thing. It's not destroying.
But it doesn't.
It's temporary disabling.
I smell a rat. I think they're going into bins and fishing out rugs and just doing it for the content.
No, I think they're just getting rugs and dirtying themselves with stuff that's easy to come off, but looks like it's not.
That rug, that was decades of neglect that we just saw. Yeah. That is not an easy job.
Whose rug is that?
Whose rug? That's my question. Whose rug are they? Who owns those rugs?
That's what
they have fallen into such disgusting disrepair, but yet they value them enough to get them professionally cleaned. The rugs that we're seeing are like, you know, rugs that we're going to have in this shed.
I think.
Look at that. That is not acceptable.
Discarded coal store rug.
A coal store.
It's where they store the coal.
Right.
Don't say right. Wait, what do you mean?
That's
Where they store what coal? Where who stores what coal? Don't say it makes sense like that easily. Who is storing coal? And in a room where you store coal, why do you need that rug?
Where are they, King? Where are you finding these rugs?
Where are you? Is that the top comment? Where are you finding these rugs?
What's a coal
You see, people are enlightened. Everyone's like, where are the rugs coming from? And that's
the carpet lay at the entrance of
the coal mine. What are you? Where are these rugs coming from? Look at that rug.
They're putting the dirt on them.
They're putting the dirt on them.
Yeah, it's an in-house operation.
Everyone, I'm glad people are agreeing with this.
Yeah. That's true, actually. What does that mean, a coal store?
You were like, oh, right, yeah. Oh, right,
yeah.
One of those rugs where you store coal on, yeah. Because
what pattern should we get on our coal store rug?
Imagine seeing that rug and being like, should we store our coal on it? What do you mean a coal store rug? It's nonsense. It's a closed-loop circuit. They're lying to us.
They got on that one at the end. Yeah, that one.
What is going on?
Yeah, that muck at the top's been placed on it.
Look, we're not knocking the videos because I do like them.
Yeah.
A good cleaning job is
my favourite part
nice.
of them is the scrape.
My favourite part of them is the squeeze. Is that what our podcast has come to? I like it when they do the scrape. Yeah, I like it when they do the mopping. What do you like it when they do, Charlie?
Doesn't know.
Don't need to think about it too hard. It was more of a rhythm joke, but we'll leave that for now. What do I think? Give me a minute. It's interesting.
That's the first time you've asked me a question.
Thank you for asking me. It's hard to say, really. They're all kind of equal in their own way, and it's more about the process of the clean. It's the process. It's the combination of all the different factors that really make it such a engaging and wonderful video to be seen. So I can't choose an individual component. No, I think it's the whole rug process. It's the whole cleaning part. It really gets me interested. Thanks, Charlie.
Well, that's what a hammerman is to you. Go on.
What you know
It's
when
hot.
when you're going up the lift,
Yeah.
in your spa.
Yeah.
What do you
It's
think?
not my spa.
What vibe do you think you could convey that would be like, okay, cool. This guy isn't gross or weird. This guy's having like, if is looking really upset. A good vibe.
I'm on the phone firing people.
That's
quite rudely as well.
That's good.
Yeah. Well, it's just not been good enough, mate.
You've reclaimed your power in that situation.
Yeah. We're gonna leave your stuff outside the office. Yeah, I know it's raining, but maybe you shouldn't have not delivered on Q2 numbers. You know?
I'd go the other way, and I'm just sobbing uncontrollably.
I don't know if that makes you seem.
I don't think
it's increasing
That
your aura.
guy needs a spa day.
But wait, are you coming up or
has
up
gone
and
through
down is very different because up's after. If you're going up,
Did you ask on the way up?
you said that on the way up.
whichever one's more problematic as a sort of vibe. Which one felt worse for you?
Probably going down because
I think going down because you're looking. There's an excitement
relaxed. Yeah, I was so relaxed after the spa
that you didn't
disgusting.
care.
that I didn't care as much. That's disgusting.
Yeah. When you feel like really relaxed and sparred out, it's just like. There's something a bit
There's something a bit
grotesque.
brothily about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like this is a business hotel. There's just like, I think that you've gone on to something. It is a little bit.
Yeah.
And the robe just adds something to it. You're not going to the gym, are you? You've got this fucking.
No, you're ready to go lie down somewhere even more. It doesn't. It doesn't inspire.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh,
It is a bit gross. Yeah, no, okay. Yeah, it is a bit. It's a bit gross.
So
isn't
if
it?
you're going down,
I'll be crying on the way down.
that makes sense. Then on the way up, go on, what, Charlie?
I think nice middle ground between the two is kind of
Confused.
almost asleep, just like this, like kind of sensei,
I think that's a bit disconcerting.
There's a confidence
like
there.
completely chill.
Yeah, because
Couldn't be more chill.
If you got like that Buddhist vibe,
Yeah.
then it's like, well,
You're untouchable.
It's well,
Right.
well, yeah.
Well,
but
then it's like a
more
religious experience.
Yeah, but he's above.
And you belong there.
He's an enlightened man, and
It's not hedonism.
It's like going into a sensory deprivation tank.
Yeah,
It's kind of he's there to experience something. He's going to gain something.
he's
out
above
of this.
experience. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not hedonism. It's not like, oh, what are you doing? It's
What are we
just
talking
like,
about?
oh, you want it to be like, no, this was. It's the difference between going on holiday and traveling, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's that's what it is. You
No,
want
it
to be
is.
traveling to the
That's
spa,
that's
not
exactly what it is.
holidaying to the spa.
So if you're going in a full monk attire,
yeah,
that's the way to counteract it.
experiences.
Yeah, I'm
But,
there.
but if you're like
you're
Charlie, just like
You're
like,
there to get
you're
back-
gurning from pleasure.
That is what I look like.
Yeah. Whereas if you go there, that could be more like you're there to renew your relationship with God in some ways.
Yeah,
It's a divine experience.
realign
rather
the
than
chakras, etc.
not for just not
Oh,
to,
fucking felt amazing. I felt like I was coming in there.
You're disgusting.
I had a similar thing the other day in the hairdressers. I fell asleep in the guy's hands in the hairdressers. He was like shaving my
Why
head.
does this keep happening to you?
It's just really embarrassing when that happens. It's like it's almost like I paid him for me to go and have a little nap in his hands.
You
It's like,
sleep a lot in the house.
Yeah, that is embarrassing.
and,
to fall asleep.
then I pay him at the end, which is the worst bit.
It's the
just
fact
like,
you fell asleep whilst getting a haircut.
but that's very easy to happen. Do you not find?
I don't. I
No.
would never.
So relaxing.
I bet all my money that I would never fall
But
asleep in a haircut.
my head would rock forward.
Yeah.
And then it's
No,
kind
yeah,
of,
you are. You're kind of nodding like a heroin now.
Well,
that
then
you're just like,
Did he have to wake you up?
no, I kind of just kept waking myself up because he'd move my head around, but I'd be like,
Yeah, but you have to stay.
so embarrassing.
just like, oh.
You have to
'cause
stay
it makes
up,
you look
though.
like you're really...
loving it.
You're moaning with pleasure.
Shave me. Shear me. Shear my head hair.
And then you wake up.
Your haircut must be pretty quick, though.
Yeah, I just fell asleep.
How long?
He was very
How long
good.
your haircut? How long haircut?
20 minutes?
That's
Right.
fucking nuts that you fell asleep. That's mental.
That's
20
I was
minutes.
asleep more or less throughout. And then at the end, I'm just kind of, I get
How
up,
much
I sort
sleep
of
do you
stumble
get?
out of there, and then just like
What's your
I mean,
average
he's
night?
up all night editing this, to be fair. That's partly... We keep him
6-7
tired.
hours.
Well, that's fine. Should be closer to 8.
I don't know. I
but-
think you guys, genuinely, I think if you ask a lot of your friends, they will have slept in the barbers. I think you guys are the...
Do you want to ask everyone in there?
Shall
Well, your girls are kind of different because they have like 4-hour
Yeah,
haircuts.
it's-
yeah, you need
You need
to ask the
blokes, you
boys.
need geezers. Yeah, so I've been watching a lot of my... Go on to the other thing. A lot of my other TikToks that I've been getting into. I've been getting into really intense... like, I guess my TikTok's moved on from like motivational
Yeah.
biohacking alpha bros.
Yeah.
And now follow these accounts that sort of do these really intense edits where they take quotes from like Dostoevsky
Right.
or like Nietzsche, and it's more like kind of applying sort of hustle grind set mentality, but to like kind of philosophy and stuff.
Right.
This is Dostoevsky.
I have seen men break in prison, not because they were weak, but because they thought life owed them comfort.
Pause it briefly,
Right,
because a lot of it is about. There's a lot of good editors out there nowadays.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really high quality editors,
Yeah.
and they've got nothing. They can't think of anything to do.
Yeah.
So they just chuck this kind of stuff.
So they
together.
sort of brain rot Dostoevsky.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Shows you nothing. Suffering strips away illusion. It shows you who you are.
You're just on the toilet, aren't you?
And in that silence, in that pain, you find power. Real power. The kind no one can take from you. So suffer well. Endure with pride. Because if you survive your hell, you'll walk through this world unshaken. Fyodor Dostoevsky.
So now my whole page is all this really intense,
And
they're
how are
getting
you
more and
feeling
more
about
crazy.
that?
And there's a Nietzsche one where it's building up, and then it has a drop, and it starts like,
Yeah.
it's more my speed, because it's. I guess it's what I like about it is it's talking about the kind of theories that were pre-hustle grind set.
Yeah.
Because you'll see a big fucking meathead say things like, it's about hard work and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
What you want is a miserable Russian
Yeah.
who spent years in the gulag saying
yeah,
that
yeah.
the only truth is in suffering and pain.
Well, they've actually gone through something. Rather than all these blokes that's their only profession. They've actually,
And then I was showing this to BB last night, and her ones, all of her versions of these are like well-edited TikToks, but for girls.
Yeah.
They're all basically saying that it's not your fault for anything. And that you've tried, no matter what you're doing, you're trying your hardest. And that has to be enough.
Yeah, try and be content with everything.
And then mine is like, only in death can you find salvation.
Yeah, it's a big old clusterfuck out there.
Do you think you're a stoic person, Charlie?
I think I'm.
Do you find that only truth comes from suffering?
I get sad when I'm on my own.
Okay, that's not really
Interesting. So you're lonely. I'm not sure if that's stoic. Right. Okay, so go on.
I don't know.
I think
if
Dostoevsky gets sad on his own, but he thinks that's the time to find.
He's gone somewhere else with that thought, though.
I think he's trying to say that that's where you really find out who you are.
Imagine
you strip
Charlie's-
away the fakeness, and you find out only when you are the most lonely and the most pain. You confront who you actually are.
Well, Charlie can make a video like that, and it just says, "I get sad on my own." Charlie Milner.
I don't find that they often say that when you're feeling low or when you're feeling really sad, that's kind of the moment where you can kind of find meaning. But I just always think this is never going to be any different to right now.
Oh, you so like this
I can't ever look beyond the sadness of that moment. I'm just like, this is it now. I'm going to be like this forever.
Right.
Yeah,
So
I don't think you're a
it's kind of
stoic.
no.
It's all the opposite.
Yeah. This is never going to get better. This suffering is teaching me nothing. It's all over. It's going to be permanent, and I'm fucked for it. Yeah, not the best philosophy, is it? You know this pain that you're feeling now? Yeah, it's going to last forever.
And it's
gonna
not really
last forever.
productive in any form.
Not going to be productive. You can't change it. You're going to feel shit forever because you're going to be alone forever, and you're going to die alone. Oh, it is a philosophy, I suppose.
I guess so.
It's very bleak to think that you feel sad for a bit and you think that's going to last forever.
They tell you to sit with the sadness, but I don't want to sit with it. I just want it to be over.
So wait, do you just chuck it out?
No, I just kind of wait.
Oh, you wait it out?
I just wait for it to be over, I guess. But like, I don't
Yeah.
sit with it in a kind of
I
not.
guess there's something to that. Being
Yeah.
able to wait for it to be over. That's something.
Well, you haven't really got a choice.
Then you're seeing it like weather. Oh, it's raining outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're
Yeah.
looking into your own mind.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't think I have a
fucking
method.
shit out
a
there.
fucking-
I'll stay inside.
What, cloudy again?
To see us out, do you want to watch one more?
Yeah, all right.
Go on the other one I sent. This is Nietzsche. This one actually gets me fucking jacked. All right, this is going to be the thought for the day. Thanks for listening, guys. Is this the one?
And suffering is his greatest desire. Oh, he will curse it, spit upon it, cry out to the heavens that he wishes for peace, for salvation. But the moment you strip him of his torment, what does he become? A fattened beast, lying idle in the field, rotting in the sun. No, he will return to suffering, to chaos, because in pain there is motion, and in motion, life. Without suffering, without struggle, without the gnawing hunger of despair, what is left? A man who is nothing, a man who never was.
Oh, that wasn't the one, actually. But
That does the job.
It does the job. Thanks for listening,
Friday.
guys. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye.